Hello ladies and gentlemen, it is Comely here, and today I'm happy to bring to you a match from the UNGL Zowie Cup number 2, I think. This is a match between Reason Gaming and Infused TTeSports. Joining me today to cast this with me is, of course, Pride. Pride, how are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. I'm very excited about this match. Very excited about this cup. Just very, very excited to finally get in on some of this Han scene, competitive scene action, and I'm ready to go. I'm fired up.
Sounds great. You know, I think this is going to be a really good match. These are two very good teams. You know, they're not necessarily the teams that people bring up immediately when they're talking about top-tier teams, but a lot of the players within it are players that do really interesting things. You know, you see Giftig, one of the best Wild Soul players in the world. Very, very exciting to see something like that happen. We're not going to see that this game, but we are going to see is, so far in the Legion team, we have Arist Loco running on the Keeper of the Forest. We have Broadholm running on the Accursed, which is a little bit of an interesting pickup. Giftig playing on that Valkyrie, again, one of the heroes he's very, very good at. Strangby is on that Bombardier. Looks like he's going to be going mid. We have Infs on Soul Reaper. Pride, any initial thoughts on that Legion team over there?
It looks pretty good. I like the jungles. I do. I'm glad we're getting out of that tri-lane aspect that we've been seeing. So it's good to see a Keeper and a Tempest, two junglers in the game.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing the metagame kind of shift towards people really liking jungles for a lot of reasons. You know, it's very interesting. Right off the bat, I do see Keeper of the Forest has very interesting starting items: 4 mana potions, a Pretender's Crown, and a health potion. I'm going to be interested to see his exact playstyle and how he goes about that. But let's take a look at the Hellborn team. We have AAA, also known as being played by the playing an electrician. We have Fear the Zap. He's going to be that Tempest in the jungle. We have Pillows over there on Glacius. Bush on Plague Rider, and of course Captain Boner on that Torturer. So of course another kind of interesting team. We do once again have a jungler. Any other kind of overarching thoughts on their team?
Pretty standard. I'm happy to see a Glacius in here. I love having a Glacius on my side, so it warms my heart to see a Glacius on the field.
Yeah, I actually really like Glacius. I think he's so fun, especially when you're like playing support in a game that you're like better than. It's really exciting to actually be able to just, you know, have that really great positioning and just absolutely stomp everybody on the support. Really, really fun. I'm going to be interested to see how the Legion team plays this out. They seem like they're going to have a very, very push-oriented team. You know, you have that Keeper of the Forest, who's an amazing pusher, as well as that Soul Reaper, who really helps you kind of sustain the pushes, right? With that constant heal spam, really keep your creeps and your minions and all that fun stuff alive. We do see that Captain Boner on the Torturer is being pushed back a little bit. You can see he doesn't have the most health, and he did only start with Runes of Blight. He doesn't have a health pot or anything like that, so he's going to have to be a little bit careful as far as watching his HP and making sure that he's topped off enough that a Sticky Bomb is not going to actually get the kill on him.
Yeah,
so,
I was actually just about to bring that Sticky Bomb up. With him being so low, just one simple spell, and it could spell the end of mid.
Ho ho, yeah, it's a clever wordplay there. But yeah, no, it definitely is, because, you know, Sticky Bomb just does so much damage. We see Plague Rider getting a little bit low in here about him. I love these fucking little pop-ups that are coming down from the top of the screen. Just let me hit X to find out what is going on. The breaky CPK buttons, very fun.
Yes, breaky buttons. Great addition, great addition.
Yeah.
Great thing. If it was inspired by breaky, kudos to him on that one, I suppose.
Yeah, and we do on bottom, we see the Plague Rider going up against the Valkyrie. That's an interesting matchup. I'm not sure that necessarily either of them are going to be very prone to dying. I would probably give the advantage. Oh, middle here, we see a lot of action, and he does actually manage to get the kill onto that Bombardier with Torture. We caught just the very end of it.
That is very surprising. Very surprising. Good on Captain Boner here to turn that around mid lane.
Yeah, we just, you know, Torturer is just capable of putting out so much damage, especially with that impalement. You know, Stringby does come right back and actually manages to get a little Sticky Bomb action on him. But, you know, Torturer is doing bottle ferrying. You know, he's bringing the bottle back and forth with the courier, something we don't see super often anymore since that 2-charge versus 3-charge change. We do see certain people do very stylistic things. Some people really like doing it. It's always really interesting to see when people choose to do it. But it's great to really, you know, let yourself stay in lane. And even if you just do it like once at this point in the game, it can be really powerful if your team doesn't need the courier. So one thing we are seeing is that up top we have Soul Reaper or Cursed Lane. You know, they have that Keeper of the Forest in the jungle, and so they have a really, really defensive kind of 2-lane up there. You know, even if they're going against some kind of not super aggressive a tri-lane they should actually be able to survive with that, that stun removal and just the spam heals from Soul Reaper. So definitely an interesting choice. You can see that their team is well thought out. It's not an accident that they have a super tanky lane like that. It's all keeping in mind kind of what they're going to be looking for in the mid game. I'm really kind of hoping to see some good things from this keeper. We haven't seen him build towards anything quite yet. Again, I'm a little bit interested about that Pretender's Crown. I guess he just wanted a little bit of easy stats, and he'll probably maybe build that into something like one of the newer items. I'm actually have to go D&D because I forgot to do that. And people just love me. What can I say? I'm very popular. But yeah. Again,
and this keeper, going back to him, he could at any time push that lane. I mean, you see bottom lane right here is really low. That would be a good opportunity for him to go ahead and pull out. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Although we do have the keeper going over into that lane. I don't know if that's just to make sure that the lane stays pushed in the Legion side favor, or if he's actually going to go ahead and push on that tower. And it does look like he's going to go ahead and push on that tower, but he's going to back away with his Plague Rider teleport again.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was going to get anything done, but, he really forces the Plague Rider to kind of panic and come back. Plague Rider isn't allowed to take his time or do anything at that point. And, again, his minions just walk right on over. And they go back to killing the creeps. It's not something like a Tempest where if you use your minions, they're like slow as hell, and it really takes a long time to get back to the jungle. With Keeper, you just walk back to the jungle, and so there's always that threat of that bottom tower just absolutely being pushed very, very quickly.
And yet at the same time, up here in the top lane, there's always that threat of Tempest coming out and throwing in his stun and getting a gank off in that top lane.
Yeah, and the Tempest stun is absolutely one of the best stuns in the game. I absolutely love Tempest stun. It's so good. And we did see Tempest is going for the Ring of the Teacher into the bottle build. I really like getting that early bottle on Tempest. It just gives you that health, that little health regen you need, as well as the mana regen you need to actually be active in the lane and really be able to get out there. But it is going to be a matter of, will Glacius, Electrician, and Tempest even be able to get a kill on that Soul Reaper or Curse combo? They're getting decent levels. It's going to be a challenge to actually get the kill on them, I think. Even with that Tempest poking in.
That is very true. One thing about Electrician and Glacius, if they can be very defensive and very aggressive.
Mm-hmm. We do see Keeper of the Forest managing to get that regeneration rune. Oh yeah, he did go straight for a Ring of Sorcery on Keeper. That's an interesting choice. I like that. It makes the Pretender's Crown make sense, right? Because he's building it towards that I don't know, that spelly amulet of awesomeness, which lets him go right towards that Ring of Sorcery. Oh, we do see another killer.
We do have Soul Reaper does go down up top. We were just talking about how difficult it would be for that Soul Reaper to go down, and yet here we are.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, did you actually manage to catch, or was it just, the random kind of just bursting of all of them being able to control them long
I'm pretty sure that, from what it looks like, it just seems that Tempest came out of nowhere, surprised the hell out of them, and with you've got 3 stunners in this lane, so I'm sure that played a very integral part in them getting a successful gank on that Soul Reaper.
Yeah, again, we're seeing right away, we're seeing the power of that jungler, he's so sneaky. You should always feel unsafe when you don't know where that Tempest is. Especially now he's level 6, it becomes even more so once he has his portal clip, but even now, it's just a little bit of a hop to get right to him. We do see the Legion team kind of being forced to put that ward there to really kind of guard against that Tempest. We do see a triple stack of all Vagabond leaders right here in the Hellborn Forest. That's just exciting to see. That's a very pretty stack right there.
Not only is that a pretty stack, that is a gold mine for that Tempest.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It does look like the Legion team is going to try to straight out push this bottom lane. Valkyrie, level 7, with the Ring of Sorcery behind her. She's really going to be able to spam that call to Valkyrie. She's really going to be able to put a lot of pressure on this tower. They don't have a Ring of the Teacher here, which is going to make the push not quite as strong as it could be. But, they are absolutely going on. Ooh, very nice ultimate.
Very nice.
Perfect follow-up by Bombardier. That is the communication that you really see in these higher level teams, where they just absolutely melt that. They get the tower. Really, really great job here by Reason Gaming. I really like this kind of sub strategy they have going.
Yes, and that is the tower pushing power of Keeper of the Forest, and that's something we'll see quite a bit of in this game, I would imagine.
Yeah, I feel like right off the bat we're gonna start seeing Ring of Sorcery. Wow. I can't talk. Be picked up by Keeper of the Forest because, it seems like it's pretty effective. You pop over and you're really able to support that lane in the push. The only bad thing is that now he's sitting at pretty low HP. He doesn't have any of his regeneration spells, so he's just kind of stuck at low HP unless he wants to bring himself regen. But, that's not really a big problem when you're jungling if you have the vision that you need. We did see the Sticky Bomb miss on Torture. That's probably fortunate. It would have done quite a bit of damage. But again, he's doing a really good job. He has that mana battery with a lot of charges on it. He has the bottle with the Illusion Rune in it. He's trying to do a little bit of micro here with the Courier to get the items that he wants. It's not working out too well for him. But it looks like he's just going to give up for now on that.
There is actually an INFS Pillows Ward of Sight there on the ground. I guess he wants to go ahead and give that to Torturer, maybe?
That's a distinct possibility. We do see, Tempest is poking out here again onto the Soul Reaper. Is a curse going to be able to keep him alive? He's forced to use that shield. A little bit of a dangerous juke here. I don't think he's going to be able to get out. We just manages to squeeze out just a little bit.
No, and there goes that stun combination of Electrician and Glacius there. It's going to be enough. And will this... Is he going to go, nice shield, but I don't think it's going to be enough, and no, it will not be enough. Of course, this Valkyrie comes in here to try and help save the day.
Yeah,
unfortunately, it was just a little late.
It was almost enough. You saw a very well executed purge there by Electrician. The second the shield went on, he got in range and he purged it off, and that really let them get the kill on him. Again, he has a Ring of Sorcery as well, so we're kind of seeing a little bit similar strategies, right? They both have kind of push-oriented team. You have the Tempest, Torturer kind of combo on the one hand with the Ring of Sorcery and Electrician, and then on the other hand, we have the Keeper of the Forest, giving the Ring of the Teacher to the Valkyrie, and then later on, I think we'll see them integrate the Soul Reaper into that as well.
Looks like we have some action going on here in the middle lane. Good Keeper ult.
But a nice counter ultimate here by the Tempest. And Plague Rider is going to come in. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough damage onto this Keeper of the Forest. It does look like it's going to be. One
more and it does go down just before that invisibility takes place. Very nice counter by the Hellborn team.
Yeah, and that's really the power of those TPs. You really want to be aware of what's happening on the map, when you're actually going to be useful, and to just, confidently use that TP to get to that middle lane and turn the fight around a little bit. Because, if you don't do anything to counter what they just got done, the advantage is huge there. But, having a little bit of counter momentum off of that is actually a bigger deal than it might seem, just at first sight.
Just taking a look here across the field, it does look like they wanted to give some action down there in the mid lane, but that Tempest actually TP'd in, but he does look like he's staying back for now. I'm questioning whether or not they're going to go ahead and try and push this middle lane or not. Valkyrie has actually left that lane, but it does look like she's going to turn around and come back. Up here at the top lane, it looks like the Legion team possibly thinking the same thing, maybe wanting to push this top tower. And it does look like the mid tower is going to go down, but it is not denied.
No, it was an attempt to deny, but just not enough. We do see they are playing quite aggressively here on top. We see Electrician going onto that Soul Reaper, but the Accursed Heal is just getting so strong at these little bit of higher levels as he goes up. And they are going to try to do a little bit of a counter here. Soul Reaper not in the best position. If the Hellborn team really kind of swoops around and traps him in there, yeah, he is going to go ahead and have the TP out.
He is. But it does look like this Accursed is going to go down in the process. Wow, there is a lot of action going on both between the mid and the top lanes right now. No one really focusing on that bottom lane except for Keeper of the Forest, who did decide to come out of that jungle. Looking back, we do have some tower diving going on by this Electrician, but he's going to turn back around. It does look like they are going to try and push this tower, though.
Yeah, and they're going to have a lot of pushing power. That Ring of the Teacher. They are putting quite a bit of damage on Electrician, though, but I think they might still be able to get it here. Does Keeper of the Forest have his ultimate up? He does. This could be a huge ult. Look at how low health the Hellborn team is. But the Bombardier ult comes out too early. Keeper was not able to get it off. Valkyrie just barely misses.
I'm glad you caught that arrow miss there. That could have been intense.
Yeah, that's one of those moments when you're playing, you're like, yes, 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 and then you just feel a little bit dead inside for the next 5 minutes. Yeah. A little bit of unfortunate miscommunication there. You really want to see the Bombardier ult obviously come out after the Keeper ult. That would just do such a huge amount of damage to all of these half-health int heroes, especially if you're able to position it very quickly but very carefully so that it hits the maximum amount of people. I'd be able to do just a massive amount of damage.
I believe that bomb ult actually only hit one hero on the Hellborn side.
Yeah, and it wasn't really the ideal hero either. So a little bit painful on that. But, you know, when you're doing these kind of bold, really powerful movement-based strategies, things like that can happen. You know, it's very easy to be a little bit sloppy in situations like this. But again, look at how great this game feels, right? It's very exciting. There's a lot of action going on. There's a lot of movement going on. Typically, when we're playing pubs and we have junglers, none of this stuff is happening because the junglers play so passive. But something you really need to work on.
They tend to stay in the jungle for what seems like forever.
Yeah, and you see that Tempest isn't rushing his portal key, right? He's got a bottle, he's got a ring of the teacher, he's going for steam boots. He's not rushing it. He's getting the items he needs to be a force within the game. And then once he works towards the portal key, he's going to reach another level of initiation, but he's not useless before he gets it. He's still a very, very strong hero.
Definitely, and you can see Tempest actually using his units there, his summonable units there, to creep while he stays himself in the game.
Yeah.
Fighting in those team fights, using those creeps to his advantage.
Yeah, a very good point. And we did actually see he stopped leveling elementals at level 2. He has 2 in Meteor as well as 4 in that stun. Not the most typical build that we see. You know, a lot of times people really want to get those minions. But he's really kind of building for team fights at this point. He really wants to be able to put out a huge amount of damage. And really, again, you know, it's very, very positionally oriented play. You have things like the Torture. He's very good at compacting heroes together. You have things like, oh, it does look like Bombardier is going to go down here in the middle. Oh, it's just going to be very close.
Yes, Bomb does go down. Up here at the top, we've got some illusions of Tempest up here at the top. I don't know if they're going to use that to any advantage or anything, but it does look like here they go. Tempest is going to pull in here. A great ultimate. I don't think they have the firepower to finish that off. Maybe they do with that Torturer coming in, though. Great play. Big plays by the Hellborn team there up top.
Yeah, that's a perfect example of what a really good early Tempest ult looks like. You know, he's not waiting to be like, okay, I'm just going to save it in case all 5 of them group up and I can catch all 5 of them by walking into it. He hit the heroes he needed to. He knew they had enough burst to at least kill one of them. And they managed to kill both of them. You know, if you lock down those healers, they're actually pretty easy to heal with, or to kill without their heals, obviously. We do see Tempest manages to pick up his portal key out of that. But again, you know, the Legion team is pushing bottom really, really hard. We just saw Plague Rider die on bottom to that Valkyrie Keeper of the Forest combination. They killed both towers in that lane already. They're really doing a good job at pushing that, but they still have a huge golden experience gap. You know, they're behind in it. It's about a 5,000 gap, which isn't, you know, unsurmountable at this point, but it certainly is a gap of some significance.
That is very true. But it does, they did trade towers there. The Hellborn team did get the first tower topside, while the Legion team did get that second tower. So they are trading towers, so it's not a great thing, but it's definitely not a bad thing.
Yeah, totally. And, you know, I'm kind of interested to see where Keeper of the Forest goes from here. Because he's got kind of a core set of items, right? He's got steam boots, he's got investments just to make himself a little bit tankier, he's got that Ring of the Sorcery. I'm not sure where he's going to go from here. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something like either of Vlad's or Gnome's Wisdom, or something that really helps us push even more. Because, you know, we haven't seen kind of the Soul Reaper, Keeper of the Forest, continuous pressure push happening at all. I'll be interested to see if they do that in a little bit later. We do see a Tablet of Command being picked up by Bombardier, such a fun item on him. He's a perfect hero for that, you know, just getting in range for those sticky bombs or using it to escape and really be a more active player on somebody that doesn't really have any escape mechanisms.
We do have some action up here in the river. Nice escape, but I don't think it's going to be enough, and that Valkyrie is going to go down. That Accursed was trying to get in there to help out a little bit, but was not able to make it in time.
Yeah, you see, the portal key on Tempest just makes him such an effective, like, ganker, and he's really able to get in there and do a lot of work when he needs to, really make that gank happen. And, you know, we saw him put down that meteor. It did a little bit of damage to it. He is going back at this point and leveling the elementals. So, again, you know, it's a very stylistic build. It's interesting to see somebody take what is such a core concept that we've seen so many times and tweak it a little bit. Again, I don't know if that's really kind of a common build. I'm not really a Tempest player, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody build quite like that as far as the skill builds go.
I definitely haven't seen it in the pub level of gameplay. Again, junglers have just recently kind of taken over, and we've seen that shift in the metagame. But I definitely don't think it's a super common build for that Tempest.
No, but it's definitely interesting. It's one of those things that I'll kind of steal and play around with and see how it feels and see, if it works with a team that doesn't necessarily have the best coordination in the world. If it makes my ults feel more powerful early game, it's all about the ultimates with Tempest kind of going into the mid game, and anything that helps boost those is going to be really huge. Something we didn't really talk about is that there's not necessarily a lot of ways for the Legion team to interrupt that Tempest ultimate. All of them are a little bit costly. Now we do have that tablet of command picked up by Bombardier, which is going to help quite a bit. But he kind of wants to be able to have that as powerful as possible in going into the mid game, and that Meteor could actually be one of those things that really helps it up the damage.
I definitely agree, and I had a point to say about this Tempest. There we go. They've essentially taken Tempest, who is primarily, in my opinion, a mid and late game support hero, and they've thrown him into the mix in the early game as well. With this new build, he's just as viable to help out in the early game.
Oh, very nice ultimate by Keeper of the Forest in mid. We do see it comboed with the Bombardier ultimate perfectly, and it looks like they're going to be able to get one kill. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to Glacius as well. We do see the tablet command on Valkyrie trying to get him into range. The auto attacks should be enough. Yeah, he does actually go down there, and Tempest in a little bit of danger, but I imagine Legion team is going to have to stop their push right now. And now they're going to group up, and they're going to solidly push this middle tower. Very nice ultimate by Keeper of the Forest, just barely getting the edges on the heroes he wanted to catch.
That Electrician being caught a little bit out of position there. Yeah, it does look like he's going to be able to keep himself safe. The Electrician's very tanky and has the ability to do that, so kudos to him for capitalizing.
Yeah, we do see he picked up a very early Nullstone. He's sitting at 380 gold per minute right now, which is pretty huge for an Electrician. Electrician with a lot of items early can be an absolute pain in the ass to kill, and that's kind of his job, is just to be really annoying and to really get in there, do a lot of AoE damage, really be able to lock somebody down, and force the other team to make choices as far as what they're going to do. Because again, they don't have a ton of ways of interrupting that Electrician's grip as well. If he uses it well, it's going to be full duration quite a bit of the time, or really force them to use something they don't want to stop it.
Definitely, and I'm looking around this map, and it seems like we're having a little bit of a lull in the action. Seems like everyone is trying to set up something in different lanes and see what they can pull off, if anything.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I almost feel like the Legion team is a little bit intimidated at this point. I imagine that we do see action here on the Soul Reaper. We see that Meteor doing a ton of damage. I really like that. And the lockdown is enough to actually get the kill on the Soul Reaper. You don't want Soul Reaper to get levels on you. You don't want Soul Reaper to be comfortable. You don't want Soul Reaper to be farmed. You want Soul Reaper to constantly be a target that you can focus the rest of the game. It does look like they're going to actually tower dive onto this Bombardier. He doesn't have much health. I cannot imagine him surviving here very long. And we don't even see any attempts at, counter TP or anything like that.
It does look like they're going to freely be able to take this bottom tower.
Yeah, they are going to get it. But as I was saying, I feel like the Legion team is probably a little bit intimidated at this point. They were going into this, you could tell they really wanted to be very aggressive on their pushes. They really wanted to be the kind of team that was able to control the flow of the game, control where the action was taking place, get those big ults, take those team fights, and really push them towards a victory. But the Helmar team is doing a really good job at doing that themselves. They're really kind of reacting to that strategy by doing that strategy too, and doing it a little bit better, to be honest. We do see Giftig here on the Valkyrie, not the best spot, but the Accursed is probably going to be enough to keep him alive against this Electrician. It is going to be close, though. Oh, just barely uses the power supply to get enough to get the leap, and it does look like AAA is going to have to leave town a little bit on this Electrician, but again, he's playing very confidently because that early farm allows him to do it. A lot of action here on bottom. We do see a really nice Plague Rider ult, but the Invis by Keeper is going to be enough to let him just stop that ultimate in its tracks.
And of course, that invisibility by Valkyrie there to save both of them was a very good play. Big plays by Valkyrie on that save. Good job.
Oh, I absolutely hate when I'm playing with Valkyrie. It just refuses to use their ult. Like, every time I see, dots touching on the minimap, I'm like, ultimate. Just because I don't got time to, check what's going on and process all that stuff. Just hit your ultimate. It's not like it's the longest cooldown in the world. Just press R, guys. Just press R.
Trying to see these guys down here, but it does look like the Soul Reaper's caught a little bit out of position. These guys are just going to bypass him, though, apparently thinking that he's gone up or around or something. I don't know. I would have at least gone through there, but it does look like this Glacius is going to see it when he comes back through. No, he turns around yet again. Wow, this Soul Reaper is getting really lucky on these guys not checking some of these vital spots.
Yeah, the Glacius actually...
But here we go again. The Glacius is going to finally see it with that Ward of Sight. But it doesn't look like he's going to initiate on it. He has no support back there.
Yeah,
So
he did
like
have the word sign on bottom. He did know that he was there, but I just don't think he had the angle that he wanted to really go on him and have Brown get there in a timely fashion. And so, rather than overextending and try to do a sloppy gank, he was really just kind of controlling the pressure and forcing Soul Reaper to get back. As far as farm, we do see, Electrician has managed to hit 400 gold per minute. He's 4-0-2. That's just absolutely incredible. We have a Tempest sitting at 4-1-7. He's been at almost all, except for one, of the kills by the Hellborn team. He's really the guy that's controlling the game at this point. Fear the Zap, playing on this Tempest. Very impressive play by him. I'm really happy with his style. We do see he picked up a Warhammer, obviously probably going for a Shrunken Head. He really wants to be able to get those ults off and just kind of say screw you to any of their attempts to really get it off. The Soul Reaper ultimate should still be able to stop that, but forcing them to use that kind of ultimate really early on him is going to stop them from using that something like Nutrition, who really is what they want to use it on if they're able to burn up that Nullstone.
Speaking of Soul Reaper, it does look like that Soul Reaper may go down, but not before the Glacius gets taken out, and that Soul Reaper is actually going to be kept alive by that Valkyrie ult. Once again, Valkyrie ult saves the day for that Soul Reaper.
Yeah, and we do see the little boom dust there on the Torture, all procced by the minions of Keeper of the Forest, just absolutely exploding him. Very unfortunate for them. Soul Reaper just barely managing to get away. But, in return, the Hellborn team does manage to push that top tower. And Electrician just runs right up to the next tower, because why not?
He is Electrician.
We do see he hasn't even upgraded his boots yet. Probably going for Boots of Travel at some point here once he decides that he is tanky enough. But he has picked up a Blessed Orb as well. I'm not sure what he's going to be using that for. It'll be interesting to see.
Definitely agree. But it was nice play by Bombardier there to capitalize on the fact that Static Grip also causes the Electrician to be in one place as well. So getting a nice sticky bomb on him to stun him and maybe be able to capitalize on that stun and get the kill. Unfortunately, that didn't happen.
Yeah, we do see Soul's Bulwark is picked up by Plague Rider on the Hellborn team. Very nice item. He has that Astrolabe. He's going to be able to either put it onto the plus armor, as well with his armor buff is going to give them an insane amount of armor, or he can put it onto the negative like he has it right now when he's farming and all that stuff, and just make him farm a little bit faster, make his tower pushes a little bit stronger.
This Electrician down here, he is trying to try and run away, but is it going to be enough? No, definitely not. There he goes. Nice play by the Valkyrie there. Once again, this Valkyrie, in my opinion, playing pretty well.
Yeah, we do see Valkyrie's at 5-1-2, pulling a little bit over 300 gold per minute. Very nice job by Giftig on the Valkyrie. You kind of expect him to do well. I just discovered that I can't press V to lock on a hero. There's got to be a button for it, right? Surely.
V worked fine for me to lock on the Soul Reaper.
Goddamn.
Perhaps you have a hotkey or something set up somewhere?
I feel very strongly that those pictures that pop on top, one of them is V, and so it kind of has robbed me of my rights to do it anymore, but that's okay. Just look right now at the Legion jungle. Just look at all of these counter wards and wards that they've put into the Hellborn jungle. That is just absolutely insane.
Does look like we have a little bit of action coming down here on the bottom. This Hellborn team is wanting to push on that tower. But we have this Keeper of the Forest down here who is invisible, but it doesn't look like they're going to commit, and they are going to go ahead and back off.
Yeah, we do see Keeper of the Forest has both a Portal Key and a Soul's Bulwark. Again, it's not at all surprising to see both teams have that Soul's Bulwark, and both teams, really kind of need it at this point just to counter the other team's Soul Bulwark. It's a little bit of a game of chicken, but it does still help you, when you're solo pushing towers and all of that fun stuff. But the Portal Key is an interesting pickup. He's very, very alt-oriented at this point. But, the combination between the Keeper Ultimate and the Bombardier Ultimate is so strong that I'm not really at all surprised by that.
Now, it does look like the Hellborn team is going to take that tower, freely taking that tower, as Keeper was really the only one in a position to do any sort of defensive action against that team, but did not want to risk himself dying.
Yeah, and again, Electrician is still just pushing this top tower. He's decided that this is his home, and they can try to make him leave if they want, but anytime they're not there, he's just going to go to the top lane and push it, which is, it's pretty cool to see. It's pretty cool to see a strategy like that where he's so confident in his ability to get away and his ability to live and all of that stuff, that despite really not having the vision, because they've use so much of their vision resources on that jungle for the Legion team that he's doing a little bit blind, but obviously he knows that if they're not anywhere in that side of the map, they're probably coming to him.
It does look like, once again, this Hellborn team is really wanting to push these towers. They are not giving up on these towers at all. They are in position to take this mid tower. Will they commit to it? It does look like some of them are going to commit to it. The others seem to be taking sort of a defensive stance, I would like to say, just to see if any of these Legion heroes are going to try and come in around them. But it does look like, here we go, we have some action now. Nice Bombardier ult.
Oh, very nice ultimate by Tempest. He's doing, he just cut a ton of people, but they don't have the damage to follow up. There comes Plagueward with his ultimate finally, but it's not going to do anything with their entire team invisible and out of range of that Revelation. Very unfortunate they weren't able to pick off that Keeper of the Forest within that kind of area where he was standing there and he was exposed, but they weren't able to get a kill. We do see Electrician is going in. I don't think you're quite that tanky, buddy. He's in a little bit of a bad spot, and the Soul Reaper ultimate is going to be enough to get him low enough to finish off. Very nice nukes there by Torture, but he's going to have to get out of town. Not going to be able to secure any kills like that, and so suddenly we have nobody dead in the Legion team and 2 dead on the Hellborn side. But they are going to keep going in.
Nice kill on Bombardier by that Tempest.
Yeah, very nice job by him. You saw the Meteor doing a ton of damage, and Keeper of the Force standing in that Meteor is going to be enough. They did a very good job of locking him down. Tempest does go down eventually, but now it's going to be a matter of will Soul Reaper be able to get away? Oh no, Valkyrie with the arrow is going to be enough to get a kill. What a crazy team fight we had there. And Torturer is still in the neighborhood. Going to try to go for a kill on Soul Reaper, but it's not going to be enough without a curse there. But thankfully, their team, of course, does not have any mana to follow up on him. So we did see very interesting. We saw the Shrunken Head on Valkyrie. We have the Shrunken Head on Tempest. A lot of really early survivability items, and these team fights are very lengthy just because of the hero selection and the item selection. We saw extended posturing. We saw them both trying to get in the right position where they wanted, both trying to use their ultimates as well as they could, and it was really, really interesting to see a team fight like that.
Agreed. I mean, there were so many turning points where it looked like one side was winning over the other, and then suddenly it was turned around and it looked like the other team was winning. Very excited when we see these types of fights, and it does... Oh, the Torturer wanted to get that kill, but wasn't able to finish it off.
Yeah, Soul Reaper's such a pain to kill at this point. You know, 1500 health with an Astrolabe. He's got the mana battery. A little bit of a pain to kill. He went for it anyway. You know, you just don't want him to feel safe. You don't want Soul Reaper to feel like he can walk around with low HP and ever feel safe. And so it's good to, you know, kind of keep that pressure on him whenever you can.
Agreed. Just your thoughts on this. Do you think in that last team fight that we saw that they perhaps initiated just a little bit too late on that Legion? The Legion side initiated just a little bit too late on that Hellborn team.
Yeah, you know, it was awkward because they got caught out. They were very much planning on organizing. You saw them spreading out, getting in position. They wanted the Keeper of the Forest to initiate right with that Bombardier ultimate, but they didn't have that opportunity. So the Bombardier ultimate came out very early. It hit a lot of people, and it was a really good ultimate, but I don't think they were quite ready for it. You know, you have that crispness, that just where everybody's jumping at the same time, and it's doing a ton of damage, and you burst the people down immediately that you need to burst down so that they're not able to kind of counter-initiate on you. And we didn't really see that crispness. So a lot of it just kind of came down to the Legion being caught out on that Keeper. And, you know, that's not something you can really control. But with the Portal Key, I don't think he needed to be quite that close. We do see a Kongor attempt here by the Hellborn team. Very bold move.
That we do, but they see that Soul Reaper standing there, I would imagine. Yes, INFS Pillows does have a ward on the Legion side of that yes, on the Legion side of that forest. So they did see that Soul Reaper coming in, but they're staying there, and that Soul Reaper is coming out yet again. This is kind of a battle of will they or will they not right now.
Yeah, and important to note, while they're doing this little standoff on Kongor, Electrician, he's pushing top lane. He's going on to this Bombardier. I'm not sure Bombardier's going to get away. You know, he has no help here. And Electrician's going to be able to do quite a bit of damage, but it looks like Electrician is more interested in just backing up and keep trying to pressure the tower. We see a little bit of posturing here, so we're getting a little bit of caught out. The arrow is going to whiff, and I think they're going to kind of go back to their little hills and just kind of continue this little dance of, well, you should try to go in. No, you should try to go in, while this Electrician and Bombardier kind of just keep fucking around at this top tower.
It is kind of something to note, and maybe that's their plan. Maybe they're staying around this Kongor, not necessarily to get the Kongor kill, but to give Electrician some time to be down there alone, knowing that perhaps Electrician can outskill and outplay this Bombardier and take that tower while they have everyone up here by Kongor.
Oh, absolutely. But, you know, it's really scary to be the Hellborn team right now because you've staked out your position on Kongor. He's sitting there at half health. He's a little bit more now. He's been regenning. But, you know, if you mess up your positioning and you lose a team fight and you get picked off there, it essentially means that you're going to lose that Kongor kill. Electrician getting this tower pretty low. He doesn't want to get into the nigh range, so he's going to pull back. You know, he's only sitting at about half HP. I would not be surprised if we saw him kind of call it a day here. But Hellborn team
Right
goes
on.
right back into Kongor.
Yeah, as soon as that Legion team kind of left to go help Bombardier down and up there at top, they went right back in for this Kongor kill, but it does look like they're going to get Scott and initiated on by the Keeper, and a nice Bombardier ult coming down. Will this be it? Will this be enough? Will they get this team down and take the free Kongor kill that this Hellborn team could possibly be giving them?
Beautiful ultimate by Tempest there, but it's just not enough damage, especially with that Shrunken Head being active on the Valkyrie. You know, it's kind of a messy situation right now. Electrician manages to finally kill that tower. That was his life's goal, but it looks like the Legion team is actually going to get the Kongor kill. And you know, that is the thing where you feel a little bit unnerved when you're the Hellborn team and you're in this situation, because if something like that happens, the Legion team is very quickly able to get the Kongor kill. Oh, it looks like they tried to ninja, but it doesn't look like Tempest was able to actually grab that token, and he might pay for it with his
However,
life.
when they walk up here, they are going to walk into some nice Accursed going down. They did walk into a Hellborn gank there.
Yeah, they should be able to burn the token here on Valkyrie. I'm not sure if Valkyrie actually has her leap up and she's going to be able to get away. Ooh, it looks like they are just going to go down. Wow, very nice.
Hellborn team gives up a Kongor kill and a token, but then they take it right, or well, I wouldn't say they take it right back, but they do punish them for taking it from them.
Yeah, they do a very good job of at least making up for the mistake. You know, that could be, if Valkyrie gets out of there with the token, that is a huge momentum swing. But to not only waste the token, but to also get the kill on Valkyrie is huge. And you see the Hellborn team is just really confidently, they just go right for the push from there. They don't hesitate, they don't waste their time. They get something good happen, and they want to capitalize on it, and so they push.
It's been a great match so far. Very exciting.
I was a little bit worried that this was going to be a little bit of a low-action game. You know, a lot of these kind of pusher teams where they just kind of dance around each other for quite a bit. Oh, we do see a Sheepstick has been picked up by Soul Reaper. Very nice pickup by him, but it's just barely not enough to get a kill on the Electrician.
Nice, that Keeper of the Forest just barely catches that Electrician in his ultimate, but it does look like he's going to be able to get away. No, the Bombardier ult takes out Electrician.
Oh, beautiful ultimate by Bombardier there. He did actually also manage to get a lot of damage in the other Hellborn team players. It just like Soul Reaper is barely going to go live. That's what I meant to say.
The Valkyrie ult in for the save once again. I think that's like 4 or 5 saves now by that Valkyrie ultimate.
Yeah, the Valkyrie ultimate is quite handsome. It's very fun to use like that. You know, save your teammates. You feel like a total baller when it happens. Oh, you see a Portugate picked up on Glacius as well, getting in there, but kind of getting in there to die. Wanted to be a hero.
I would not say that was a great decision by that Glacius.
No, not top 5 decisions I've seen in this game. I'll put it that way. But let's take a look at the farm. You know, the Hellborn team has been managing a fairly good gold lead all game. They're up to a 10,000 gold lead at this point, which is pretty intimidating. You know, when you have that big of a gold lead, if they win one really good team fight, at this point, it's probably going to mean that they're going to have the items to really confidently continue a push and push a Rax or push a tower and really make things happen. So the Legion team has to be a little bit scared at this point. They have to be a little bit scared of losing a team fight. And with a hero like Tempest and a hero like Plague Rider, one team fight can go really, really wrong really, really quickly, and they have to constantly be worried about things like that happening.
Especially with this Electrician at breaking the 400 gold per minute mark, currently sitting at 406 gold per minute.
Yeah, we do see Giftig is pulling about, you know, 325 GPM. It's very respectable, and he's going for kind of a unique build. I'm not really sure what he's doing at this point. He went for Shrunken Head into a Slayer. Maybe he just felt like he needed a little bit more damage, and then going for a Warhammer. Am I missing some kind of item here, or is he just kind of playing with my mind?
Well, he's got a Slayer and Warhammer.
Yeah.
Which would lead me to believe
he's certainly building something with one of those items.
I'm going through the items here, trying to figure out what this could be turning into. Savage Mace, perhaps?
Oh, they changed Savage Mace, didn't they? I am so silly. I am such a silly guy. Yeah, he's definitely going for Savage Mace. It's not even a question. I'm stuck in like beta. I haven't played Han since beta. I don't know if you guys know this. I actually just guess very accurately, very consistently. But yeah. No, Giftig has been doing a really good job keeping his team together. You know, if he wasn't doing so well, I think they would be in a much worse position.
Oh, wow. You probably didn't catch that, but there would have been one hell of a lucky Valkyrie arrow on this Tempest. it actually stopped just short of hitting that Tempest.
Oh, that's the worst. I'm okay if somebody kind of dodges it a little bit or I happen to be a little bit off. But when it lands at their feet and it fades, I feel like an asshole.
I think anyone would. And that Valkyrie, rest assured that Valkyrie is face palming himself right now.
Yeah, we did. Oh, a 5-second arrow on Electrician. Are they going to choose to go down? It doesn't look like it. They didn't.
No, they're definitely going to back out.
Yeah, we did see Tempest picking up a Frost Field plate. That's, again, it's just going to add to his burst. It's going to add to his ability to really be a huge presence in the team fight. We see Electrician has both a Sheep Stick and a Shaman's Headdress. They're picking up items quite quickly, quite big items. And that Sheep Stick is going to do such a good job at really locking down the heroes that he needs to lock down. We do see let's see any other big items pick up. Not really. Nope, that looks like it's about it so far. We have the spell shards are picked up on Bombardier. I'm not sure how long he's had that. Haven't really been paying too much attention.
This Valkyrie just hit 1,600 gold, which means that Valkyrie can go finish that Savage Mace.
Yeah, we did see them pick it up right now, and there's the Savage Mace. That's kind of making them do quite a lot of damage. I really like this kind of... She needed the Shrunken Head, and so she said, okay, I'm going to get the Shrunken Head, and then went right for a really pure DPS-based item. Really good instincts on that. We're going to have to see how the item actually plays out, but I like at least the idea behind really wanting some pure damage output. Helmor team stealing the Ancient stack from the Legion team. I'm not sure if actually the Helmor team might have even stacked that themselves just because they have such a good position on their team. But, taking that is a big gold swing. It's really important that you do things like that when you have map position. And you see that the Helmor team is doing a very good job at containing the Legion team. The Legion team is not able to go wherever they want. They're not able to kind of do split pushes and push other lanes and all that stuff. They're really contained quite well by the Hellborn team. They're doing a good job at keeping that stranglehold on them.
Just kind of going around and checking all the stats and everything with this brand new spectator system that S2 has kind of given us lately.
Ho ho. Yeah, we see it Curse with 2% of damage done. Such a baller. Only 5% by Keeper of the Forest as well. That's a little bit surprising to me. I mean, most of his damage comes from his ultimate, but I guess his minions are just getting melted too fast to really be able to put out that damage that they're capable of.
It's interesting to see, actually, this Electrician right there at the lowest damage output on that Hellborn team, but we saw him just constantly going up there to that top lane while everyone was down by Kongor, and it's surprising to see him at only 8%.
Yeah, I think so much of it is just he's really been focusing on creep damage for so long that I could see that.
Just waiting and seeing what this Hellborn team is going to do, if they're going to capitalize on their positions right now. This Legion team just seems to be, very careful at this point in time.
Yeah, and they have to be. Again, one really bad team fight at this point means that they lose racks. It really does. They don't have a tower on top. They don't have a tower on mid. And that makes it extremely easy to push, It makes it very easy for you to position. It does look like the Legion team is trying to kind of expand, kind of trying to get out of that almost contain that the Hellborn team had on it, to steal a StarCraft term. And they're really kind of trying to blossom out, get good ward positioning. But the warding has been so good by both teams, but the Hellborn team is doing such a good job.
And that Bombardier is going to get caught out here in the open and is going to go down. Perhaps. Yes, that Bombardier does go down. Let's see. And there's the Sheep Stick on the Keeper of the Forest. Will he go down as well?
It is going to be close. He does manage to use the invisibility, but they have a counter ward.
Nice arrow there by Valkyrie. Oh, beautiful ult by Bombardier. Beautiful. What a turnaround.
Yeah.
The last Hellborn guy standing is going to be the Electrician. No surprise there, of course. He is a tanky sumbitch.
Wow, what an ultimate by Bombardier. That was just incredible. You see his hero damage at 16%, and that's the reason. His ultimates have been so good, besides one or two that have been just a little bit misplayed, a little bit mispositioned, I should say. But when you hit an ultimate like that, with the Keeper of the Forest, getting them in that position where they were all bunched up, and the Bombardier ultimate just comes out, it's able to just do so much work. It's so impressive to see ultimates like that come out.
And then it does look like this Legion team is going to try to capitalize. They have 15 seconds until the next hero comes up. Of course, they do have to contend with that Electrician. Will they commit to pushing into their base?
Yeah, it's going to be a close call. You know, that tower is only at half health. They're probably going to be comfortable just getting the tower and then getting the hell out of dodge. But, yeah.
Glacius is now back up. We'll see if they come in to try and stop them. And there is the port by Glacius. Will anything happen? Doesn't look like it. They're just going to try and get back. Oh, but there is a sheepstick on that Valkyrie. I don't think they have the damage to get it done and taken care of, however.
Yeah, you know, with the Soul Reaper accursed right there, they're able to just put out so many heals. But, you know, Electrician is really dedicated to this. It looks like Valkyrie is just going to go ahead and TP out, and he is going to have more than enough time. You know, really great awareness by him to know that his Shrunken Head had enough time left to get it. We do see a Hellflower picked up on Plague Rider. That's going to be a very interesting item to see on him. But it looks like Soul Reaper is actually going to get caught out, and despite having 2,500 health, it's probably going to be very painful here. You see the Meteor draining that health so quickly. Of course, the percentage-based skill, able to do just a ton of damage. Very nice job by the Helmor team to know that they can continue to push and make at least that Soul Reaper pay for it.
Going back here, it does look like the gold per minute is actually evening out now.
Yeah, you know, that team fight in the jungle was enough to really get the Legion team back in it. You know, I felt like they were a little bit behind. By a little bit behind, I mean they were quite behind. But they're doing a great job at getting back into it. It looks like the Hellbourne team is going to try to take this Kongor, which is going to swing it a little bit back in their favor, especially if they're able to get the token on the right person. But I'm not even sure who they want to put it on necessarily. Do they want to put it on Electrician and really try to use it to push? You know, he can stand up by the racks with that token and feel relatively safe. Or do they want to put it on somebody like that Torturer so he can really get into the middle of everything? It does look like they are going to put it onto the Torturer. I agree with that.
And, of course, there were no wards down there by Reason Gaming to even be able to scout out that Kongor kill. Question arises, were they aware? Do you think they had the suspicion?
You know, I think they had the general sense of, oh, fuck, they're doing Kongor. But, you know, there are positions and information gaps that kind of make you not able to respond to it. And it's one of the more frustrating things that happen in the game when you know something is happening and you aren't able to actually capitalize on that knowledge. But, you know, there really just was, they didn't really have any choice but to let it happen.
Let them get the Kong and perhaps take a breather, regather themselves, talk on Vent about their strategies, how they can take this game that some would argue they're losing and turn it into a win.
Yeah, you know, it's really important sometimes when you're in kind of these vaguely close scenarios to just take a deep breath, really focus on what's happening, what you need to do to turn it around, and really be active and talk about, okay, what are our win conditions here? What do we need to do to make this a win? And then execute it. We do see they're putting a lot of pressure here on bottom. We see the illusions from Tempest along with his minions, putting up a very solid push. You know, they want to use this token to put a very solid push on it. We do see Keeper of the Forest using his minions to actually lead a Hellbourne creep wave far, far away. They're going on a little bit of an adventure up in the Hellbourne jungle.
They're bravehearting that creep wave.
There you go. There you go. But unfortunately, that's going to lead to the Hellbourne team having a pretty big creep wave coming onto them, or coming for them. And so while they're pressuring this top lane, the Legion team is going to be a little bit of an awkward position if the Hellbourne team times it just right.
And perhaps we will see a multiple lane push here. No, it does look like everyone is going to focus on that middle lane.
Yeah, you know, again, the Hellbourne team is forcing the Legion team to kind of respond to them. They're forcing them to say, okay, well, we're gonna push you. You kind of just got to stand here and not really do too much, which is, you know, not what the Legion team wants. They're not feeling comfortable right now. They want to be the people that are making the pushes. They want to be the people that are setting up the team fights. Thankfully, they have that portal key and Keeper of the Forest, which is going to let them initiate and let them counter-initiate as much as they want. But they would much rather be making their own plays happen than having to worry about things like this.
Of course, and you've got that Call of the Valkyrie there, who's just stopping all of these creep waves as soon as they get into the base, able to take them out and get a little bit of farm in the process.
Yeah, we do see a little bit of sun there on the Valkyrie, but it's not going to be much. I'm going to be interested to see who blinks first. It's going to be a matter of Tempest is staring at the Legion team at this point, you know. While he's microing his hero, he's staring. If they get out of place for a second, he is going to be all over them. He should know, if he is dedicated to playing this Tempest as well as possible, exactly who can interrupt him, who cannot, who is going to be more costly to interrupt him if they make
And there it goes.
Oh, very nice ultimate by him. He has
not going to be enough
head,
though.
but yeah, just not enough damage coming out with it. And so now the Hellbourne team's in a little bit of awkward position. We see Keeper of the Forest initiating
nice ult on by Bombardier there.
Yeah,
Plague Rider's going to go down. Who else went down? Glacius went down.
Is that
and they've successfully repelled them from their base at this point.
Yeah, the Hellbourne team was a little bit separate at that point, right? The Hellbourne initiation didn't have the damage to go with it, and it also allowed
Oh, and look at this. We have a battle of the creeps down here.
Down where? Oh.
It was, you had to have seen it, my friend. You had to have seen it. Keepers creeps and Tempest creeps, they were just coming at each other like a wave of vicious, violent rage.
That is, of course, the Civil War simulator within Heroes of New Earth. Most people don't know about that minigame, but it's quite fun to play.
Sorry, that was totally worth interrupting you for.
No, I agree 100%. Sorry, I just got like 14 text messages at once. I'm staring at the fog. I'm not being a cameraman right now, and I apologize for that. But it looks like the Legion team is going to take this as an opportunity. They want that first tier top tower, because goddammit, it's a first tier top tower, and it's about 50 minutes into the game. Will they be able to get it? I imagine so. There's not much the Hellbourne team, because they're just going to go ahead and push middle, looks like. Hellbourne team wants to make them pay for trying to get this tower. It's going to be a little bit of race here, and yeah, the Legion team has to get back. The barracks is only at about a third HP. It does look like they're going to do some initiation here on the electrician. Is it going to be enough? Oh, he's going down quite quickly. Yeah, and they actually do manage to kill him. Wow.
For a second there, I had my health bars confused, and I thought the Keeper of the Forest had just gone down.
He is a burly man.
Man after my own heart, that Keeper.
Yeah, and so, they have 2 pickups now. The electrician is down for 60 seconds. The Glacius is down for about 30 more. And so they can really use this as an opportunity to try and push pretty aggressively here. This is the time where they want to establish that they are now in control of the game. And they want to establish kind of the same kind of area in front of the Hellbourne team. Either in front of mid and bot or mid and top. And really control that entire area for as long as possible.
Agreed. And INFS actually does have a ward inside the Reason Gaming base at this point.
Yeah, and so once again, I stare into nothing. I swear to God, I'm putting my phone on, guys. Don't even worry about it. One of the interesting things, and this is not at all, never mind. Actually, never mind. We do see Torturer has that sticky bomb on him. He's going to be quite low after this goes off, but it should not be enough to kill him. He only has a minute on that token. I would not be surprised if we saw him play fairly aggressive just to try and kind of get that off of him. Make the token.
A possible initiation with Torturer is plausible with that token of life.
Yeah, it definitely is.
I mean, fantastic bait.
Yeah,
a low HP Torturer with someone who might just be a little bit caught off guard, not realizing that the Torturer... I mean, you would imagine and know for the most part, they realize that Torturer has that token of life. But when you see a low HP hero just come right in front of you, your first thought is usually going to be, oh, kill.
Well, and, I know mine is, yeah.
Exactly. And while they're doing that, of course... it's hard to be in the mindset of the professional players at all times, but one would imagine that if someone saw a low HP hero just appear in front of them, that they'd want to take it out.
I mean, yeah, you always want to give your opponents opportunities to mess up. And even if there's like a 5% chance of something happening, it's better to just try it, because if they mess up and you're able to capitalize on it, it can mean an entire game. You'd be surprised how much little decisions actually matter in Heroes of New Earth. Little decisions just add up so quickly, especially when you get into these 50-minute long games where one bad team fight can mean the game it ends. It doesn't matter how farmed you are. If you can't buy back and you are dead for like 80 seconds, then the game might end right there.
One thing I would like to actually point out, though, with all their pressure that they had on that Legion base, the Legion team has actually overtaken farm lead at this point.
Yeah, they're about 2,500 gold down. There's still about 4,000 experience down, but they've definitely caught up recently. If we had a little table of the recent farm, it'd be much higher for the Legion team, of course. But the Hellbourne team's doing a good job.
I'm speaking on behalf of Valkyrie, who is now has the highest GPM in the game. So that gap is definitely closing every second.
Yeah, we did see Valkyrie pick up Geometer's Bane. That's a very good item, especially with the Savage Maze. You don't get the procs anymore, which used to be pretty hilariously awesome, but you do still get like the really decent damage and everything that you're putting out with the attack speed and everything that goes with Geometer's Bane. It's just a really good item. It's a really good item.
It does look like we have a little bit of tension going on here mid lane. Both teams kind of squaring off it with each other. I'm interested to see if anyone's going to initiate.
Yeah, it's going to be the opportunity where, both teams kind of want to be the counter initiator, I think, in this situation, just because teams group up when they initiate. You just kind of have to get that really great positioning that you want. And so if you're able to be the person that's counter initiating, the Tempest versus the Keeper of the Forest, it gives you a fairly significant advantage in some of the team fights. Unless you get initiated on, you just get blown up. Well, that's a whole nother story. But
definitely. And while you were talking, that Tempest did actually scout out a double damage rune in the top position, but it does look like we have some initiation down here. Great ultimate there by the Plague Rider. Will we see who will win this fight? It does look like the Hellborn team is dominating right now. Will the Soul Reaper? Nope, the Soul Reaper is definitely going to go down, and that is that.
Yeah, very painful team fight to lose. You see Valkyrie's down for 90 seconds.
Soul Reaper's there goes the Accursed as well. Now that team only has to contend with Valkyrie, who did Valkyrie buy back? Is that what we saw?
Yeah. I feel very strongly that Valkyrie died, so I'm going to go with a yes.
It does, in fact, look like Giftig did buy back. Of course, Stringbee is actually out of buybacks entirely, and I want to say... Is Captain Boner? No, Captain Boner does still have one buyback, but Stringbee at this point is out of buybacks entirely. And the only person for Reason Gaming that has 2 buybacks left is Broadholm playing the Accursed.
Yeah, and, this is one of the games where I really agree with the buyback change. Both teams are farming so well that if we didn't have that, we could see a lot of fucking buybacks.
We could see a 2-hour game at this point.
Yeah.
That is one of the changes that a lot of people didn't really like when it first came out, but I think specifically in the competitive scene, that's kind of become a thank you.
Yeah, I wish it were some kind of system in play where I could buy back a lot early game and not be super punished late game. And then late game, there's a huge cooldown on it, or I don't know, something where I can buy back early game, because I think early game buybacks are really one of the signs of somebody that's very confident in their game knowledge and really confident in their positioning. Now, Hellborn team is going to get the Kongor kill here. They are going to get both bananas and a token of life. That is going to be huge.
However, Tempest does look like, sorry guys, it's an illusion.
You're one of those guys that blows your ultimate on illusions, aren't you?
What was that? I'm sorry.
You're one of those guys that blows all their ultimates on an illusion?
Yes, as Witch Slayer, as soon as I see that illusion, I instant kill it. I don't like illusions at all, so of course, blowing the Pyromancer Witch Slayer ult on those illusions it makes my day. It really does. And oh, nice 5-second arrow on that Torturer. I'm gonna say luck on it. However,
all skill.
Yes, no, I'm gonna call luck. Calling luck. I for a second there, I saw the ward, and I had to check and see whose ward it was. If it was a Reason Gaming ward, then I would agree with you, skill. But no, I'm calling luck.
We do see a Restoration Stone being picked up by Tempest. He's going to be able to do a double ultimate. I'm really kind of hoping he just magically hits all 5 people in his ultimate, so he's able to change them for an inappropriate amount of time. It's not likely, but it is still going to be really fun to see him actually try and pull off a double ult of some kind.
I like how it is an inappropriate amount of time.
It's inappropriate if you're the Legion team.
It is definitely a force to be reckoned with whenever you have a 3-hour stun by Tempest.
Approximately 3 hours, give or take. But yeah, it does look like there's going to be another kind of positioning war here. Both teams are going to kind of try to get in the optimal position. They want to be spread out enough, but it's going to be rough to see who actually gets the perfect initiation here.
That was a big plays by Valkyrie there.
Big plays.
I like that. Now, it was Valkyrie leaped away, and as she was leaping away, we have some initiation going here on the Soul Reaper, but the Valkyrie ult is going to go off, making him invisible. We'll see if that helps him in any way, shape, or form. Here comes Tempest grabbing an ult, but only grabs Soul Reaper in that ult, and a nice Bombardier ult going off now. This is insane, that double ultimate from Tempest really shining right now, and they do manage to get I want to say 2 kills on that double ultimate. Will it be enough to go ahead and finish this game, though? I don't know. Valkyrie is going to go down, however, and it does look like they're going to chase Bombardier. Will he go down? No, it does look like he is going to go down in the well. Big plays by the Hellborn team, and I think this game is over.
Oh, pride. I'm having a fanboy moment. That Tempest ult, that second Tempest ult was so good.
It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
That is the power, because, you saw that as the Legion team initiated, they really clumped up. And so, yeah, that first ultimate was pretty bad. Like, it didn't really do much at all. But what it did was it encouraged them to do that counter initiation, which let him set up that second ultimate, which ended up being absolutely huge and really doing a lot of work and pretty much secured the game. I would not be surprised if we saw GG well played come out any second now. They might just go ahead and let themselves get thrown just as kind of a tip of the hat to such a long, well-played game. You know, you don't want to give up if you've been playing for an hour, and you just kind of want to play it out. But really well played by both teams.
And there comes the GG. From Reason Gaming. Will they let themselves get thrown? We'll find out.
I mean, at this point I would. I mean, it's just, you know, it's fun. Don't mock us, Butch.
Damn you, Butch. Don't mock us.
Yeah, so any kind of closing thoughts on how this game went? It was a really interesting, exciting game.
One of the biggest points of this game I'd like to point out is I can't really think of the proper wording for it. I'm just going to say the very interesting build for the Tempest on the Hellborn team.
Yeah, there's a lot of really interesting things in this game, a lot of really small kind of strategies and things that we didn't quite see worked out how they wanted to. You know, Legion team had a strategy in mind that didn't work out exactly how they wanted to. I'm interested to see, you know, if they continue to do this kind of strategy in other games. That kind of Valkyrie, Ring of Sorcery combination. We do see, like, the Legion team is definitely staying in it at this point. You know, they do have the hyper mega awesome super anime creeps at this point, so it's going to be a little bit difficult for the Legion team to do anything. But they want to get those last kills if they absolutely can in any way.
Yeah, I think this is all just a in an odd, twisted way, kind of a respect staying in the game.
Yeah, we can only hope so, right? You gotta have respect. We see Valkyrie getting attacked by creeps, getting a little bit melted.
And that just shows the power of those mega creeps. Once you get them, they can actually pull off some pretty decent damage on level 25 heroes. I mean, always fun to see heroes at the end of the game, specifically in pub games, getting raped and murdered by the mega creeps. Because, you know, there's always that one guy that just will not concede a match.
Yeah, the multicultural member of the team.
Multicultural member of the team. I like it.
I like to be politically correct here at Comely Cast.
But all in all, I'm going to say very good matchup. Very, very exciting. Surprisingly, kills are 100% even, 32-32.
Wow, yeah, that is such a good example of why kill counts aren't everything. And sometimes people are like Comely. They're like, we're behind by 3 kills. We should just play it out. And I'm like, guys, come on, the game's over. But no, they're doing a really good job at a little bit of PvE action right now from the Legion team.
Yeah, they're totally trying to get that trash down to get to that raid boss. Just blowing through it, really. Oh, and nice! Oh, the Tempest ultimate right there catches 3 heroes on the Legion side. Will he ultimate again? I don't think so.
He did, but it got stopped by Valkyrie Savage Mage. So it was a good attempt. It was a good attempt.
I thought I saw it go off, and then I wasn't seeing it, and I overcorrected myself. I overextended my casting there. That's what I did. I overextended my casting.
Perfectly reasonable. Really great game by both teams. Really nice to see such a fun game like that. The double jungler strategy, one on each team. Really fun to see. Once again, this has been Comely. This was a UNGL semifinals match between 2 teams, Reason and Infused TTeSports. And with me was Pride. Pride, any final closing words?
Oh, great game. Very excited to see what comes out of the Online Kingdom versus Port game to see who's gonna face Infused TTeSports in the final of this UNGL Zowie Cup #2.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to the other semifinal as well as the final. Again, this is a best of 3, so there are 2 more games. Either me or myself and Pride will get to those at some point, and I will see you guys next time.